Today on First Cup, we're gonna talk about martial arts. I don't know. I'm tired and I have coffee. That's what we do. Stick around. Live in 15. Or I should say rolling in 15? I don't know. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Tuesday. It is September 14th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. You know what I missed yesterday? I did not talk about. I'm surprised and disappointed in myself because I saw it coming. Tupac passed away 25 years ago yesterday. I can't believe I didn't mention that. I didn't even realize it until halfway through the day. Somebody else posted something on social media. It's like, man, how I'm losing my touch. I am tired. Went to karate last night, and I'm tired. Then it says, looks like it's cold in Vermont this morning. Yeah, 44, 45 when I woke up. And I had some things open, and so it's a little chilly in here. I don't want to turn the heat on. But there's also this new hat. So, those of you watching live, thanks for joining me live. If you're watching later on, hey, I appreciate you watching at all. It's more fun live, but you know what? We can't all be there at 6:30 in the morning. Or if you're West Coast and it's 3:30, I wouldn't watch me at 3:30. You know the only times I get up at 3:30? Vacation. Or there have been a couple times that with whistlekick there was an event and I set up a booth. And it just didn't make sense to stay overnight the night before. Because it was like, let's say just for whatever reason. I don't even remember now. It's too early. But there's a new hat. Look at the new hat. I got a new hat. It's a whistlekick hat. I'm going to start trying to wear more whistlekick stuff on the show. It is a flex fit hat. You can get it at whistlekick.com. It's stretchy. I left the logo. I left this on so you can see it's a small medium. It says whistlekick in small print on the back. So you can wear it backwards. I would call this a Fred Durst hat. You remember when Limp Bizkit first came out and Fred Durst always had a backwards red hat? Yeah. So, we're in a hat and we're here. Mostly because I'm trying to stretch it out. Stacy says, who is in Vermont, for those who don't know. It's a lovely brisk morning. Windows all open overnight. Good quilt weather. Yes, I would agree. I got home from karate last night and made some dinner and went to bed. It was like 10:30, and I just zonked out. It was great. Had a good class. It was one of the better classes we had. I enjoyed it. Ha! Daniel says, I was just thinking that's a good Fred Durst impression. So here's a fun story for you. Back in college, we had sophomore and junior year, I managed to finagle the best room in the best dorm, like the most desirable room in the most desirable dorm. And then it was supposed to be a triple, and Derek got into a car accident, decided he wasn't going back to school. And because I had a relationship with the, what do we call that department? Residence Life, the department in school that oversaw all the dorms. Because I had a relationship with them and had won their like outstanding freshman award the year before. I said, hey, you do double singles where people are able to buy out the other half of a room at a reduced cost, not quite double. I said, can we use that same math to have a triple double? And they're like, we've never done that before, but I don't see why not. So Evan and I ended up with the best room on campus, and we didn't even have to share it as much. It was just him and I. So we took the lock off the patio, the sliding door, which they said we couldn't do, but we did it anyway. And we brought in a refrigerator. We had this amazing. It was an apartment on campus. It was awesome. But the patio door looked over where campus police parked. And so one night we were having a party, and patio door was cracked, and we're doing karaoke. Because this is the early days of MP3s, so I was able to hook all that stuff up through the stereo, and there were probably 15 people in there. I think like one of us was of drinking age. And I'm singing the song by Limp Bizkit, Nookie, and I'm into it. I am into it, and it takes seconds for people to get me to shut up. I'm like, what? And I look up, and there's. Oh, by the way, it was also working in the IT department, and knew everybody, and even had a professor threaten to get me expelled, and I dared him to do it because I had that much pull in the school, and he had none. And so one of the officers that I knew fairly well was standing there, and he's looking at me. He's just like, and I said, "Are we being too loud?" He's like, "No, I stopped by for a beer." And I was like, "Well, you would." And he's like, and he just turned around and walked away. And everybody was blown away that nobody got in trouble. You treat people right, and they'll treat you right. Oh, sorry. It says, "Can we lose the banner you're hiding this morning?" Yeah. Here, let's pull that down. I'm really tired. I am here. And we can even... No, this way. There we go. That's how this works. I am hiding. I'm often hiding. That's why I wear a hoodie and a hat. Daniel's asking me to sing that song this morning. That's definitely not going to happen. Ever. But good morning, Casper and Daniel and Jenny and Dennis and Stacy and John and Francis. Look at all these people on the show. Thanks for joining me. Well, if you're paying attention to Free Training Day, the shirt is out. The shirt is there. It's available in like some stupid number of colors. Sizes extra small to I don't even know what. But it's a cool design. I worked really hard on it and then hired somebody else who worked really hard on it. But it came out cool, so check it out. It's, yeah, it's there. If you use your discount code, we basically break even, which is how I priced it. I'm not trying to make money on this shirt. But those of you coming to Free Training Day, I have some ideas for something, or an idea for something that would benefit people who have the shirt. You wouldn't necessarily need to wear it at the moment that you're training. We would give you the opportunity. And I'm not talking about a picture. I'm talking about something that, let's just say if you like whistlekick, if you follow whistlekick, if whistlekick stuff is cool to you, if you're watching this show, I'm sure it is, and you're coming to Free Training Day, get a shirt. That's all I'm going to say. Coffee came out okay. It was a little bit weak. I'm down about half a tablespoon in there, but I didn't feel like grinding more coffee because the coffee grinder's really loud. What else happened yesterday? So we dropped that episode with Cynthia Rothrock, and people lost their minds. So shout out, as always, to Andrew for doing such a good job and getting that booked. So this is a DVD of DVD of Best of the Best. No, that would be punishment. That would be punishment. I watched a movie yesterday that I've never watched for a recording of How to Fight that we're doing tonight, late this afternoon. And I didn't like the movie. There's some good martial arts in it. I don't like the movie. It kind of made me angry. It kind of made me angry at everyone involved in the movie. But, whatever. Oh, neck is stiff. What did we do at karate last night? We did forms. We did kata. There was a fun moment. I'll share this, and then we'll move on. There's a fun moment when it's me and this other white belt, and we're running through their second basic kata. If you do taekwondo, it's kind of equivalent to like a kibon. A lot of karate schools would do something like a taikyoku. It's similar. And the instructor, he's probably in his 50s. He's a little older than I am, gray hair, and he's explaining the bunkai. And there's one section that requires it's a crescent kick, and you got to retract and throw a side kick. I've never seen this form before. I don't know if it's a Shorin thing or if it's exclusive to the school. And he's like, I can't do it that well. He's like, Jeremy, can you do it? So I'm a white belt, and I'm demonstrating the bunkai for the other white belt. Yeah. Daniel says, I was listening to the How to Fight this week and picked up on Andrew slipping best of the best in the list of great movies and Jeremy agreeing. Well, if you were only listening, you didn't see my face because there was a facial expression there. Unlike most of the content we do, where I think really hard about what the audio-only experience is going to be with the How to Fights, it's really all about the visual. We cut in those clips. We put a lot of resources into that. And yeah, you can listen to it. You're going to hear the conversation, but you're not going to get the full experience. This is here, I'm taking this off. There we go. So if you only listen to the How to Fights, that's cool, but you're missing nuance. Stacy says, Daniel, what? Trust me, I did not say that. I did not agree that it was a good movie. I was being sarcastic. All right. Frank gave us some stuff. Where is it? It is. Because none of you posted anything in the Facebook group. I don't know. Some of you saw it. Nobody posted. I'm going to continue to post something every day that says, hey, leave your stuff for tomorrow. No. Oh, what's going on today? I go to the orthodontist. Surely we can talk about the next pile of these things. I have a meeting with Justin from Marshall Journal. Andrew and I have a meeting today. We're recording that How to Fight with that movie. What else? I have a client call. It's a busy day. Oh, and I think I'm going to go to Costco. I got to double check that I have time. I'm out of a few things. On this day in 1902, the late Carlos Gracie Sr. was born. Here are some quotes from him. If you cannot win, make the enemy pay a steep price for victory. I like that attitude. Because I think there's a time and place for it. It's not often. And I think there are people who need to learn how to not approach everything in that way, that incredibly violent, borderline psychotic approach. But yeah, if a 300-pound, 6'7" guy decides that he's going to attack me, I'm probably going to determine very quickly that I'm not going to win. So how can I not lose? How can I make the cost of victory for him greater than he's willing to pay? That's where I'm clawing, I'm biting, I'm scratching, I'm screaming, I'm spitting. If I can, I'll pee on him. Just be so over the top, disgusting, crazy. Person's like, well, people don't want to fight crazy people. In fact, acting crazy is one of my strongest recommendations for people to get out of a self-defense situation. be afraid to be crazy. Daniel says, we all just show up and chat. You don't need topics. I've actually been thinking about that. The fact that there are almost two things operating in parallel. There's me speaking, and then there's all of you conversating in the chat. And I don't even know if I need to be here. Ugh. I mean, I do, and I will. My father was teaching on top of my mistakes. From there, I developed a lot. When I wanted to learn something, I never forgot. Have a good memory, had the advantage. He was very persistent, as my father. I researched the positions, inventing a way out of them, invented so many blows. And this is one of the criticisms that I hear of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is that techniques that they will say they came up with exist elsewhere. Now, does that necessarily mean that they were stolen or taken and claimed as their own? Not necessarily. Because remember, there are only so many ways the human body can move, and only so many of those make sense through the lens of combat. So, if you're grappling, in any given position, there are only a few things that you can do, only a few ways you can move, and in some circumstances, moving in some of those ways will get you choked out, so you don't move in those ways. Oh, there's the everything okay alarm, Ralph. But I think there's something really interesting about spending time researching. When we think of research, we think of books and old texts and going to libraries. But research in the context of martial arts can really mean, okay, I need a training partner who's going to just give me their body. Okay, let's say you put me in this arm bar here. Okay, how do I want to do? No, I need a little more pressure. Okay, right there. And then, no, I can't move this way, but I can, no, I can't do that. Okay, but what if I do this, what do you feel? What's your instinct? Oh, you want to do, okay. Right? And I think I think there's something to be said for that. This is why I love slow. This is why I think if you can get people to suspend ego, slow movement, whether it's stand-up sparring or, randori, rolling, if you can get people to move slow and not use strength, it is the greatest teaching tool. It is the fastest way to progress, to allow yourself to move at a speed slower than your mind, so your mind can keep up. So you're not reacting, you're thinking. You are literally acting, you're choosing what to do instead of just... And it's interesting that we come to that because that's playing a really important role in something I'm considering right now. So, Daniel says, it's kind of like the fact there are pyramids all over the world from cultures that could never have met. Aliens or just the best way to pile up rocks? Yeah. One of the things I found entertaining, there was a meme, and it was top and bottom. The top was a picture of a Egyptian pyramid, saying there's no way people could have built this. It had to have been aliens. And then the bottom is, have you seen those videos of the guy? I believe he's in the Philippines. I don't quote me on that, but it's Southeast Asia. And he takes a small shovel and builds an underground home with a waterfall, right? And so, top must have been aliens, bottom, but this one guy could build this with a stick, right? Like, I think we underestimate what people are capable of. People are capable of amazing things. Think of the things you've done. You've done some amazing things. We've all done amazing things. Sometimes because we really wanted to, or sometimes because we really had to. And I think we underestimate ourselves and others. We spend a lot of time tearing each other down. I did a video yesterday on TikTok. So I don't know if you saw over the weekend at the whatever, I don't know, some award show. Machine Gun Kelly and Conor McGregor. Oh, Conor McGregor was involved in some altercation in a public space. There's a surprise. And I started seeing it popping up and people talking about it. And then I started seeing it tagged with martial arts. And that's when I got upset. Now, I have said time and again, no one has the right to define who is and who is not a martial artist. I'm not going to say Conor McGregor is not a martial artist because I don't have the right to say that. But I will say that this guy seems to have not only not grown as a human being over the time he's been in the spotlight, but regressed dramatically. He's just, how did I describe him? A junk human being? He is. He's not a good person. And I think if you're a junk human being and you're becoming junkier, is that even a word? At the very least, you're missing the point of training. I think a lot of people would probably say he's not a martial artist. I'm not going to argue that. Frank likes the new hat. Thank you. And it says, when I was boxing, the majority of our sparring was half speed, half power, working on timing, distancing, rhythm, targeting. Karate sparring, we were just trying to cut each other in half, all in good fun, but a stark contrast for sure. Yeah. I believe, genuinely, that if a martial arts school spent, let's say, a third of the time, maybe even half of the time, giving people the ability to incorporate what they're learning into free-form, slow, low-consequence partner work, they would progress incredibly fast. I'm willing to guess that if you gave me somebody a couple hours a week within a year, they would be better in any combative situation, whether that's competition, street, etc., than your average black belt of any rank. I really do. Daniel says, there was a line in a British TV show called Red Dwarf. I've heard of that show. How did they move those massive, massive rocks? Must be aliens. They had whips, remember? Massive whips, remember? And Dennis agrees. At the very least, McGregor is a poor representation of martial arts. I'll agree. And that hat is killer. Well, thank you. He comes across as a poor representation of a person. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like my hat. I like my hat. It's shiny. Red's a good color on me. I don't wear a lot of red, but it's a good color on me. I'm starting to wear more red. I went through a phase. This, believe it or not, this is from the first batch of sweatshirts we ever made in 2014. So here's Jared being the contrarian. I have to argue that many people don't want combat effectiveness as the goal for their martial arts. I'm not saying that that's how it would be presented. I'm saying that if you take people through that movement, that slow, free-form movement, that is one of the side effects. As well as an understanding of their body, other people's bodies, an ability to apply technique, remember technique, to pull out bunkai at a moment's notice. It's in karate, it's often talked about as kihon kata kumite, basics, forms, fighting. And I've rearranged it because I believe that anyway, that's a side conversation. Kihon, kumite, kata, and then I would put kumite back there again. Because I think there are different kinds of kumite, and I think that you need to split them. I think there's something different in there. But who knows? It's a theory. I also think it might be better received in the modern era. That's okay. There's some stuff. This might be something that we work on a free training day in my session. I don't know. Or I should say our session, because Andrew and I are going to present together. Next, that was quite the tangent. I like tangents. Remember, this is from Carlos Gracie. Punch a black belt in the face, he becomes a brown belt. Punch him again, purple. It's funny, but if it's true, it's sad. What if the black belt's old? What if the black belt is injured? Are we really going to connect rank to skill? Not a fan of that. But you knew that. Not at all a fan of connecting rank to skill. It opens way too big a can of worms. Rank is about growth. It's about progress. It's about moving from where you were to where you are. That's what matters most. So in that sense, McGregor should be demoted for sure. What a just, ugh. He's just not a good person. Anyway, forget about that. So, I hope you have a good day. I hope you will leave me something to talk about over on the Facebook page. I hope you join me tomorrow here. Let's plow through some banners. Oh, apparently I'm losing my connection right now. It's stuttering. I apologize for that. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's the computer. Something's not going well. That's unfortunate. Come on, computer. You can do it. Oy vey. Is it a Wi-Fi thing? I think I'm going to start using the Ethernet. Although this really feels like a computer thing. It's probably updating or something. It is a computer thing. Who knows if you guys are getting this? I'm just going to sit here until it decides to come back. Or it crashes. Either way. Well, I'm just going to go because this thing looks like it's locked up. I hope you have a great day. On the off chance you can actually see that, I'll see you tomorrow because we do it every day, 6:30 U.S. Eastern Time. I appreciate those of you who join live and those of you who listen or watch later. Hey, maybe you can make it sometime. Maybe a holiday, It'd be great to see you. But I appreciate all of you. And until tomorrow.